So now we'll move on to cost of preference shares. So this is the formula, Kp equals to D divided by P0, where D refers to the constant annual preference dividend. So usually preference dividends, they don't grow, they are just a fixed number. And P0 refers to the X dividend market price of the preference share. So we'll start with the Kp. So Kp equals to D divided by P0 into 100. So we have to get D and P0. A company has 50,000 8% preference shares in issue. Nominal value is 1. The current X dividend market value is 1.2 per share. What is the cost of preference share? Okay, so you don't need to take this whole number like 50,000 and all. You just need to take a per share value. If you get a per share value, it's easier to solve the problem. Okay, it's very easy to solve the problem. For example, what is the dividend per preference share? See, dividends are declared at the face value or nominal value. So 1 is the nominal value into what is the percentage of preference dividend given? It's 8% of the nominal value. So it's 8% divided by the current X market value of the preference share, that is 1.2. So we can quickly solve it. The answer would be, the numerator is 0.08 divided by 1.2 into 100. So the formula is always into 100, which gives us 0.0667. So if you take it as 100, that would be in percentage, that is 6.67 percentage. Okay, so this is the easiest way to do it. Normally they will give you the nominal value. Okay, based upon the nominal value, compute the dividend per preference share, find out the price per preference share and solve it. You can also solve it with the whole number basis, but whole number basis will take a long time for you to solve. Okay, so if you want, we will solve through that also. So if you are going to solve it through the whole numbers, okay, $1 is the nominal value, 8% is the dividend percentage, 50,000 is the number of dividends that are being in issue. So that is the total worth of dividends. If you multiply, that's your numerator. Your denominator is the total value of preference shares. So total value of preference shares come to 50,000, 1.2 into 50,000. If you solve this, usually again this and this gets cancelled. So either way, it's better to always do the problem in per share value itself. That's about the cost of preference shares. So we'll move on to the cost of debt. So irredeemable debt, we'll start with this one. The formula works like this. The question might tell you whether to compute KD. KD refers to cost of debt. KD before tax or KD after tax. If it's KD before tax, the formula is I. I is the annual interest rate in the bond or debenture divided by MV. MV is the market price of the loan or debenture. If it's going to be after tax, it's I into 1 minus T divided by MV. So T is the tax rate. So why do we deduct 1 minus T? Because this gives you this 1 minus T. 1 minus T gives you the after tax cost. Okay, so the tax benefit has been like deducted here, and then we find out the interest. The question will state whether it wants before tax or after tax AD. So we'll work out this problem. A company has an issue 10% irredeemable debt quoted at 80x interest. The corporation tax rate is 30%. What is the pre-tax cost of debt? So as he asks you the pre-tax, so pre-tax is before tax. Okay, so simply he wants us I divided by MV. Always the formula is into 100 only. So what is the I? I here refers to 10%. Interest is 10% divided by 80 is the market rate, and finally we have to multiply by 100. Now the question is, I refers to the interest. Okay, but on what? on the nominal value. Okay, I is always on the nominal value, but nominal value is not at all given here. The nominal value is not given in the problem. Then how do we work it out? See, nominal value and market value are related. Okay, so in this question, market value is 80. That means nominal value should be 100. If the market value is 0.8, then the nominal value will be 1. If the market value is 800, then the nominal value will be 1000. Okay, so usually the question will tell you this nominal value we have to find out, because the price would be like trading equivalent to the nominal value, and nominal values will always be 100 or 1 or like 1000. So the price can also be like this. The price can also be $120 or $1.2 or $1,200. So if the price is going to be in some kind of a range like this, usually the nominal value is like this. So in this problem, as the market value is 80, the nominal value should be 100. So the numerator will be like 10 divided by 80 into 100. So that gives us 0.125 into 100. So that gives us 12.5 percentage. Okay, so the KD before tax is 12.5 percentage. In post tax, we take the tax benefit into account. So formula works like this: what I into 1 minus P, entire thing into 100. So in this formula, 1 minus T refers to T is 30%. So we'll take it as 0.3. So now we'll solve. So the numerator now will become to 7 divided by 80 into 100. So the answer will be 0.0875 into 100. So when we multiply, we get 8.75. So that's about the post tax. So we'll just have another discussion. So we had KD pre-tax return. I think the answer was 12.5%. So the pre-tax will always be high, okay, when compared to the post-tax, because there is a tax benefit here. So that's why we got the number. So that's about the problem here. We'll move on to the next one. So we look at the redeemable debt, or debt which is issued and can be like bought by the company after a set of years. To find out the KD for this kind of a problem, we have to find out the IRR. So this is a format. So first take three rows. The first row refers to the market value. The second row refers to the interest payment. If the question asks you post tax, then it is like 1 minus T. If it asks for pre-tax, then you don't have this number. 1 minus T is not there. Okay. Usually question will ask you post tax only. So 1 minus T will be there. And the last number is capital repayment. So we have to do these things. Okay. Annuity factor, discount factor, and these amounts. So we'll just look at how it works. A company has in issue 12% redeemable debt with 5 years to redemption. Redemption is at par. The current market value is 107.59. The corporation tax is 30%. What is the required rate by debt providers? And he is asking you pre-tax, but what we'll do is we'll try to find out the post-tax, because that is what is asked in exam. So we'll find out what is post-tax KD. See, we'll set this as a question. So we'll start now. So our job is to find out the IRR. So how do we find out IRR? So now it works like this. So we'll start with the table. We'll have the year. We'll have the cash flow. We'll have the discount factor at. That is what we have to find out. So we'll take it as discount factor at. Usually the discount factor, whatever number is given here, take the same number, okay, and compute it. You will get a present value. Again we have to do another discount factor at. That number we'll do later, and we have to get the present value. So this is a table. We'll insert the numbers in this table. The first is the market value. Market value, you are buying the bond now. Now it's called a zeroth year. So the cash flow is you're buying the bond, so it's 107.59. Mark it with the minus symbol here. Okay. So because you buy the bond, so the cash goes out. The discount factor for the first year is always 1. So we'll move on to the next one. It's called as interest. So interest is being paid for how many years? From the first year to the 5th year, it is being paid. Okay, 1 to 5. It's not minus, it's 1 to 5 years. And the cash flow is per year, how much of cash flow we get. So interest is 12%. Okay, but if you take after tax interest, let's see how much it comes. So 12 into 100 into 12 percentage into 100 into 1 minus 0.3. So this gives you the after tax interest. This is interest. How did we get 100? See, then value, market value of bond is 107. It means that then the nominal value is 100, gives you 8.4. And last one is redeemable value. So redemption is, he says it is at par. Okay, at par means what was the nominal value? So at par means nominal value we have to get. What is the nominal value? If the share is trading at 107, the nominal value should be 100. In which year you are going to get this cash flow? You are going to get it on the 5th year. So you are buying the bond today, so it is 0. You are going to get interest for 5 years from the first year end, second year end, third year end, fourth year end, 5th year end. Redemption you are going to do at the 5th year end, and these are the cash flows. Okay, so we have to get certain numbers. So first we'll try to get this number, annuity factor. The annuity factor you have to get for 5 years at 12%. So the annuity factor we have to get it for 12% for 5 years. So 5 years comes here. So 12% 5 years comes to 3.6. So it comes to 3.6. And the redeemable value for 5 years, okay, and cash flow is 100. See, this interest is received for 5 years, that's why we took annuity factor. This redemption value comes only on the 5th year only. So for that we have to look at the discount factor table. So again we look at the discount factor of 12% for the 5th year alone. We have another table. So the table is at 12% for 5 years. The discount factor is 0.567. It's 0.567. So you'll find out the PV. So the PV comes to multiply 8.4 into 3.6. Okay, multiply the cash flow and discount factor, you will get the PV. So the PV comes to minus 107.59. The interest comes to 8.4 into 3.6 comes to 30.24, and the last number comes to 56.7. 100 into 5.56 is 56.7. So we'll add all these numbers and let's get the answer. So the answer comes to minus 20.65. Okay, so now what we have to do is, as we get a negative I number here, we have to take a lower discount factor. So we'll take a lower discount factor, something like 6, and we'll do it the same procedure. So now we are going to multiply this cash flow with this discount factor, and we are going to get this answer. Okay, so we'll do the same procedure. The first year number is always 1, so that is not a problem. We have to get annuity factor of 6% for 5 years. We have to get for 5 years 6% annuity factor, so it comes to 4.212. Comes to 4.212. We look at the discount factor again at 6% for 5 years. 6% for 5 years, it comes to 0.747. Comes to 0.747. So we'll multiply the numbers. So the first number is 107.59. So the second number is 8.4 into 4.212. So the answer comes to 35.4. and the last number comes to 74.7. We'll add all of them. So the answer comes to plus 2.5. Okay, so now we have to find out the IRR for this. So what is the formula for IRR? Load discount factor plus NPV at low discount factor divided by NPV at low discount factor minus NPV at high discount factor. Solve this and multiply this by high discount factor minus low discount factor. Okay, so we'll insert the formula. We know that the low discount factor was 6. Okay, and we look at the other numbers. The NPV at low discount factor is 2.5 and the high discount factor is 20.65. So NPV at low discount factor was 2.5. The formula has a minus, and the NPV at high discount factor, this number NPV at high discount factor 12%, that comes to minus 20.65. Okay, solve this part and then multiply it by the high discount factor, which is 12. Low discount factor is 6. So we'll start 6 plus, we have to solve the inside part. So it's 2.5 divided by 2.5 minus, and another minus becomes a plus, so that comes 20.65. So the denominator is 23.15. This minus and minus becomes a plus. Okay, so solve this and into 6. 12 minus 6 again becomes a 6. So we'll solve 6. The answer comes to 0.64. So the total answer comes to 6.64. Okay, so this is the KD of redeemable debt after tax. It comes to 6.64. Okay. So the next one is non-tradable debt. So what is a non-tradable debt? A bank loan is a non-tradable debt, so you can't trade it with anyone. So we have to find a KD for this kind of loan also. So mostly we can find out the post-tax or after-tax number. So we can directly get it. For example, you just get the interest rate. So for this we can just multiply the interest into I minus 1 minus t. So the interest here is 11% into 1 minus t. T is the tax rate, so 30. So we can directly get the answer. So it would be like 7.7 percentage. Okay, so it's like very simple and direct to compute. So the next one is the, and the last one is the convertible debt. So the convertible debt is like very similar to the redeemable debt. But the only part is it has a converting option. That is, in the last year, the redeemable value can either be a bond value or it can be share value. So whichever is higher is the formula. So whichever is higher, choose that number. So that's how it works. So these are the calculation parts. To calculate the cost of convertible debt, there is no tax effect whichever option is chosen. Okay, so there's no tax element in the bond value or share value. Calculate the value of the conversion option using the available data. So first find out this one. He says compare the conversion option with the cash option. Assume all investors will choose the option with the higher value. So that is why we say that whichever is higher. Calculate the IRR of the cash flows as redeemable debt. Okay, so this is the only part where the redemption value is either a bond value or the share value. Whichever is higher, you have to choose. So we have a problem here. A company has issued convertible loan notes which are due to be redeemed at a 5% premium in 5 years time. The coupon rate is 8% and current market value is 85%. That means the nominal value should be 100. And alternatively, okay, the investor can choose to convert each loan note at 20 shares in 5 years time. The company's tax rate is 30%. The company's shares are currently worth $4 and their value is expected to grow at 7%. Okay. So first what we'll do, we'll have the we'll find out the convertible option value of converted shares in 5 years. So we'll first look at the value of converted shares in 5 years time. So what would be its value? See, the share value will be, currently the shares are worth $4 and they will grow at a rate of 1.07 for how many years? For 5 years. So first we'll get this number. So first we have to get 1.07. So this comes to $4 into 1.402. So the value will be, the share value in 5 years will be 5.61. Okay, but this is for per share. This is for per share. We have to get the value of 20 shares, because that's how one debenture of $100 will be like converted into 20 shares. Okay, so we'll, and 20 shares value we should know, 20 shares into 5.61 equals to 112. Okay, so the share value is 112. So now the question is this: which will be the redemption value? Redemption value will either be the nominal value of debenture, which is $100, or it would be the shares. The shareholder will redeem it at 112. So which one he will choose? Whichever is higher, that means he will choose 112. So that's about the convertible option. So he has the option to convert the bond into shares and he will get 112 as a redemption value. From here on, it is a normal redemption problem. Okay, it's a normal redeemable debt problem. So we'll try to solve that. We'll start with years, then cash flow, then discount factor at, then we get the present value. Again we do the discount factor at, we then again get the present value. So first we have to get the market value, then the interest, then the redemption value. So this is the 0th year, this is the 1 to 5 years, and this is the 5th year. Market value is 85 and redemption value is 112. The bonds are converted at a premium of 5%. So that means the bond will be like converted at 105. So whichever is higher, whether 105 or 112 is higher, 112 is higher. So the bond will be redeemed at 112. Take it 8 and let's see how this works. So first year number is always 1. So the present value will also be 0.85. Whatever discount factor you choose, it is always going to be the same 1. So we have to look at the annuity factor table here and discount factor table here. 3% and 5 years comes to 3.99, comes to 3.99, and 3% and 5 years comes to 0.681, 0.681. So we'll compute the answer. Okay, so this comes to 13.6, which is a positive number. So we'll look at the discount factor of 12%. As 8 has come to 13.6, we'll take a higher discount factor so that this number would go to a negative, NP will go to negative. So the answer comes to 0.836. Okay, so if you see the answer is like very close, I think the IRR will be like nearby to 12, but we'll work out the IRR. So IRR will be the low on discount factor 8% plus the NPV at the lower discount factor, which is 13.6, divided by NPV at lower discount factor 13.6 minus, then we have a minus of 0.836 Okay, this into the difference between the high discount factor minus the low discount factor. So we'll try to solve the number here. So that comes to 13.6 plus 0.836. So it's 13.6 divided by 14.4 into 4. So the answer comes to 8 plus 3.78, which refers to a total of 11.78%. So this is the KD. Okay, this is the cost of convertible debt. You can reach me at my website wowacademics.com, or you can also see my Quora answers. I am active in LinkedIn and in Facebook page, so you can visit at these places. If you just type Shyam Prasad and Wow Academics, you will get all these links in Google search itself. And if you like this video, give a like, share to your friends, and if you feel that any points we have missed in this video, you can post it. We will try to give an answer to you in the comment section itself, or we'll also create another video for you. So thank you for watching our video.